So conversational AI as a technology has existed for last couple of years. What it essentially means for people like you and me is the ability to converse with a business on some of the most engaged messaging channels. So be it WhatsApp, be it website, live chat, be it the voice calls which you're making, right, through an automated agent which is able to first of all understand your query. Second is be able to resolve that for you by taking certain action, right? So just to give an example, you want to file a claim with your insurance company. Previously, before conversational AI, there was just maybe one or two ways of doing that. The first one was essentially you going to the branch locally, filling out a form for claim processing, and then submitting it, right? And when you moved into the digital era, that essentially would happen is you would send out an email, or you would essentially fill up a form on the website to register your claim, and then maybe after 48 hours or 72 hours, it would get acknowledged, and someone would reach out to you. Now, essentially with conversational AI, that has become real time. So let's say if you want to file a claim, you start a conversation on one of the channels which you like the most. It could be WhatsApp, maybe you're dialing out that phone. You essentially are greeted with an AI agent which is able to understand your requirements and is able to process your claim right then and there, right? So that essentially encompasses the definition of taking conversations into the business context for end consumers is what conversational AI is doing. What yellow.ai essentially does is a platform which is custom built for enterprise-based use cases, helping more and more enterprises come online and become active on some of these new age messaging channels, new age voice channels, right? On the back end, it has the ability to integrate within your existing CRM, within your existing ERP systems, so to power these more dynamic conversations as we call them. So Middle East is a big focus area for us. So as a company, we have divided the world into two major segments. We call something as the messaging first worlds and the non-messaging first worlds, right? So messaging first worlds are countries or regions for us, where one of the first apps which the consumers in that region use is a messaging app. So when you look at countries like or regions like Middle East, you look India, you look at Southeast Asia, these are some of the places where you go 7 years or 10 years back when people started coming online. One of the first apps which they used was WhatsApp to connect with their friends and family, right? And the folks in this region have become accustomed to availing services on WhatsApp, availing services on messaging, right? So from a company perspective, we've been very lucky to have more than 100 plus customers in this region. We have set up offices locally in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, with a good amount of leadership sitting out of this region. And we essentially want to expand into some of the other countries in Middle East. So be it Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, we're trying to service from here. But from a company's focus perspective, it's the top one, to focus in these area to bring much better conversations, much more business impact for organizations in these countries. So I think GITEX has always been a very forward-looking place where you could, technologists like myself and companies like Yellow can come and showcase the best and the greatest. Personally, for me, I grew up in the Middle East. I was in Riyadh, and then I grew up in Abu Dhabi. And every year I used to look forward to going to the GITEX consumer front to be able to see what are the new things which companies are bringing out. So back 10 years back, it was the new mobile phone technologies, the laptops and everything. And now participating in GITEX as a company, it gives me a lot of pleasure to be able to come back to one of the most revered conferences across the globe in technology. And for us, it essentially means opportunity, right? Today we are able to come here, meet a lot of great partners, meet a lot of our customers and a lot of our prospects, and tell them what we can do and what is the change we can bring in their life with our technology. So yeah, very grateful to be at GITEX this year. as a company and as a platform, we are agnostic of the industry function and the vertical itself. But traditionally, what has worked really well, or where we have seen massive adoption, I think the first one would be the financial services across banks and insurance companies. So we see a massive value which gets delivered for these type of customers. We have seen FMCG, which is fast moving consumer goods for them. We've seen certain use cases being really appreciated by end consumers. Just quite recently, we've started seeing uptick in healthcare. Seeing a lot of opportunities come in where hospitals, pharmacies, test centers, they're looking to bring in more automation and a much better customer experience. So that's a big trending area. And across most countries, we're seeing governance becoming more digital. So be it in UAE itself, where we've been working with some of the largest government entities, be it Ministry of Education, the Abu Dhabi Economic Development, and be it in India as well, the Income Tax of India and local governments. I think that is becoming a big, massive shift. So we essentially want to partner with a lot of the governments and make sure we're providing one of the first citizen services on WhatsApp. So Meta has been a great partner for us from the early days. Back in 2015, one of the biggest point why Yellow was formed was because of Meta. We saw a huge surge in messaging adoption across India, and post that, in 2016, probably around March or April, Meta announced Messenger as a platform where bots could be built. I think that changed the purview of the world to asking questions like, how they could leverage a platform like Messenger to grow there. And since then, we have been great partners. We're one of the first few partners in Asia to bring and enable WhatsApp for large businesses. We were one of the first few partners who were working to bring some of the latest experiences, be it from a shopping perspective, be it from a pay perspective. We are partnering with Meta on those things. So yeah, we really appreciate the partnership which we have with Meta, and then looking to do much more great things in the region with Meta and Yellow as a platform.